What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, well, I wanted to talk about the land potion survey, or the land potion proposal, which, again, that's I guess, not the full name. The full name is the Boost Land Survey Chances by Burning DEC/DECB, which essentially is the land potion proposal. So, as of today, and I'm recording this in the afternoon for me, early afternoon of Saturday, what is this, January 28th. There's been a lot of discussion since last night and this morning. Even Aggie weighed in a little bit, but what we've seen essentially is several large SPS stakers change their mind on this and vote against it. So you can actually see here that we are below the 66.67% threshold needed in order for this to pass. Now, I think there might still be some larger account holders that need to vote, but more importantly, and for the purposes of this video, I wanted to cover two things. The first of which is that Aggie said that Matt will be on the town hall on Monday to discuss land in further detail, because obviously I think the team is very much in favor of wanting this to pass as a way of helping the economy overall. So this is a little bit of a PSA for people who don't normally attend the town halls. I don't know if I will be able to record the 5 biggest takeaways video as quickly as I'll need to, and this ends in 3 days. Now, there's no active counter on here, so I'm assuming it's going to end sometime, within like under 72 hours from now, or about 72 hours from now. So, in case I'm not able to get that video out, I'm just letting people know that if you're on the fence about this, if you voted yes or if you voted no, and are open to being persuaded yes because of Matt, he will be on the town hall on Monday. So just to give a heads up on that, like I said, in case I'm not able to cover whatever he goes through in detail in that town hall, because the voting will be closing probably shortly after the town hall, or sorry, not after the town hall, but shortly after, within probably 24 hours of whenever the town hall is. The second thing is to dig a little bit deeper into why people are against it for maybe some of the non-obvious reasons. And I would say probably the more valid reasons in my book, right? And again, I voted for this. You can clearly see that. But I'm also very not emotionally attached to this, in the sense that I am not a large landholder. So, I'm just trying to put my biases out there from the get-go. I don't have a lot of land, so I can vote for something like this because I can see the value in the overall economy. But for people who are large landholders, I can totally understand. As somebody who voted against, for example, the Riftwatcher proposal, I can totally understand people taking the stance that they bought something, and now they're being asked for further further transactions, further spending in order to take advantage. Now, from a technical standpoint, I disagree with that, right? Because at the end of the day, you have your land, and your land will be your land. Like that's just what it is, right? Now, you will have the opportunity to boost its rarity, right? Double the chances, essentially, which we don't have. And that's another thing that I'm going to get to in a second, which we don't have that information on, like how many, what are the chances that it's going to be common versus rare versus epic versus legendary. And so what are we paying for here? Is really complaint number one that I would say. Like, nobody really has many details, and the thing is, the team hasn't shared many details about this, and the truth is that we don't know if the team has not been sharing it because they're trying to keep it under wraps, or the team just hasn't actually gotten around to sorting through that and designing it in a way where it's ready for our feedback or consumption, or however you want to look at it. At this point in time, land is still very much at an early phase of, well, here's the map, right? Here's some market functionality, and here's the upcoming surveying, right, where you'll be able to see what kind of land, what it produces, whatever. But I don't know that we have the actual numbers, and we'll have to see what Matt says on Monday when it comes to that. But like I said, I'm hoping that they can shed a little bit more light. But the first part really comes down to that. It's just like, you're paying for this, and for people who feel like they've already paid a lot for land, like I said, I get it. I try to use the PAX the example, which again, I'm sure triggers some people. And I'm not saying it to trigger people, but I do think it is a relevant comparison. And in fact, I would say that the potions for land are actually better than the potions for, excuse me, for packs, right? Because there is a certain level of guarantee if you were to open like, 100, or was it, yeah, for a tract or for a region, you will get that guaranteed of essentially doubling across the board. So, if they had something like that for, let's say you open 100 packs, like you're guaranteed to get 2 rares per pack or something, you know what I mean? Like then there'd be something interesting that we don't have on the pack side. But that being said, I totally understand where people are coming from, that they don't have that kind of information. Also, the other part of this, and I get it as well, or the second part of this is we don't have information on land itself. Like what are the things that we'll be spending on? And more importantly, why, unless we're in a rush, which I do think we are, right? Unless we are in a rush, why spend on something like a potion that just gives you a chance, something that you'll never be able to actually determine if it had value, right? And again, it's not, for somebody with like a single plot or a couple plots, it's like $6-7 right now, depending on when you got DEC. And if you use DECB, it could be even less than that. But, the idea is that you don't really know if it's going to be successful or not, ultimately, when it comes down to it. If you get a legendary, right, it's like, well, did I get a legendary with the original percentages, or is it because I boosted and now I feel like my purchase of the potion was validated in a sense? So I get where people are coming from with that. And I would actually love to hear more about the actual mechanics of land and what will be used for. And so therefore, when people say like, well, I would rather it be used for something that I know is going to have value, right? I know it's not just an RNG thing. It's not just whatever, but if I can prepay for certain things on land, then this is what I want to do. Which brings me back to one comment, I believe it was from Gene Pool in Map Chat, that was saying, that's what DECB is. Because if you're planning on using DEC at some point in the future to upgrade your land, well, then that's what DECB is for. You can pay for that now, knowing that at some point in the future, you'll be able to spend it on something like your land, buildings, or maintenance, or upgrades, or whatever. At least that is the plan. But I can understand after the brutal bear market or year that we had, which was 2022, and continued bear market that I would say that we're in right now, even though we're having a very nice rally, I would say that I understand people's hesitation. I understand people want to see more of a roadmap for land. So while I'm still voting for it, there's never any vote shaming here. If people are against it, they're against it. I may agree or disagree or understand or maybe not understand, somebody's position and be like, I respect your right to think that way. I just completely disagree with that line of thought, right? But you're well within your right. So in that way, I don't know where this leads. And I guess what I'm trying to do, again, with the video is just to let people know that we are hopefully going to get some answers on Monday. And more importantly, get your questions ready. I think this is going to be an interesting one, because with Matt being there and this proposal being such a crucial part of the whole DEC to PEG, DECB conversation, right? All of this stuff is somewhat connected. Either everybody's going to have some questions, or even more so, like as I saw one commenter say, like, if this fails, I hope the team doesn't just give up, because not give up on like getting DEC to PEG, but if this land survey thing, or the land potion thing doesn't necessarily work in its current form, I think what we have is a very engaged community with these recent community proposals that is willing to come to the table and figure out like what will work, right? If anything, I think we've seen a lot of high or large SPS stakers become more vocal on Discord, right? Or on Hive in the blog post. Like, people are really starting to come through and be like, well, this is how I think, and this is what my ideas are. And at the end of the day, again, you will have to court the whales. You will have to get people on board. But the fact that everybody's now part of the conversation means that we can hopefully find some kind of common ground, because at least people are voicing what they like, what they don't like. And like I said, I believe the best ideas win. So if we can come up with something that will make sense and get everybody on board, because what are we trying to do here? We're trying to get DEC to PEG for the flywheel, right? And so that's what this land potion thing is. And if people, especially larger stakeholders, larger landholders, don't agree that this is the best way forward, well, let's find some common ground and get something proposed within the next, week after this completes. Whether it fails, if it fails, or even if it passes, like what's something else that we could be doing, or other things that we could be doing, cool ideas. So that's all I really want to share in this video. I know it was a little rambly and kind of all over the place, but again, more so just a PSA for the town hall on Monday. I do plan on attending, or at least listening as soon as I can, just to get stuff out there, because I do think this will be time sensitive. But if there was ever a town hall that you should consider attending, this might be one, at least for 2023 so far. Nothing's been super crazy, but the time sensitive nature of this information, I think, will be one that is worth being present for, and then potentially even being part of the discussion if you're able to get your questions and comments in with the rest of the group. So that is all I have for you in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll catch you all on the next one and see you around the game. Take care.